Okay, so clever mathematicians that you are, you have some experience already with some mathematical operations, mostly addition and subtraction, right? And today we're going to learn a new one, or one that's at least maybe new to us as a group, and it's called multiplication. Its symbol, or its sign, looks like that, an X, basically. And we're going to spend a little time exploring what multiplication means. Each of you has a bag with some objects in it and a card with a number on it. Just leave those on the corners of your desk for now, and let me show you what I want to do with you. My bag has a card with a number 3 in it, and so I'm going to arrange all of my little objects in groups of 3. Let me show you. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I now have 4 groups of 3, right? I can write that as a multiplication fact. 4 groups of 3. I want you to take a moment to arrange objects in your bag into groups of whatever number you have. So if you have a 2, you're going to make them into groups of 2. If you have a 4, you'll make them into groups of 4. Go ahead and take a moment to do that. Okay, let's hear what we've discovered. Let's hear some of your groupings. We'll start over here. Whoops-a-daisy. Lena, what did you come up with? You have groups of what number? Groups of 3, and you have how many groups? You have 2, so you have 2 groups of 3. In Carlos, you have how many groups? 4 groups, and how many are in each group? 4, so you have 4 groups of 4. In Kayla, you have how many groups? 3, and how many in each group? 2. 3 groups of 2. Notice how every time I'm writing a multiplication sign, I'm using the words groups of. That's what I want you to think when you think multiplication for now. Think of it as groups of. Now, what are we missing on all these math sentences, on all these multiplication problems? Yeah, the answer. And we, mathematicians, call the answer to a multiplication problem the product. And I know in my head what the product of all these are, and soon you will too, and that's the fastest way to do it. I know that 4 times 3 is 12. Now you probably don't know that, or all of you don't know that yet. So I want you to take a moment to think what you could do, what strategy you could use to figure out how many objects you have all together if you have, say, 4 groups of 3, or how many you have all together if you have 2 groups of 3. Take a moment and think about what strategy you can use to figure out how many you have all together. That's what the multiplication problem tells us. How many we have all together when we have groups of something. Now that you've had a chance to think about it, turn to your shoulder partner and discuss some of the strategies you talked about. Okay, let's hear what you came up with. What's one way you could find out how many you have all together? Yeah, you could just count them all, right? Just like I had all these groups of 3, I could just count them all up. I could say I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 2 groups of 3 gives me 6 altogether. That's one strategy. What would be another way you could do it? Yeah, you could skip count, right? If you know how to skip count by, say, 2s or 3s, you could skip count and go, this is 3, 6, so you have another group, 3, 6, 9. I'm just skip counting by 3s 3 times. That works? Anyone come up with another idea? How about adding them, or doing repeated addition? So I have one group of 3, so I'm going to write a 3, another group of 3, so I'm going to write a 3, and another group of 3, so I'll write another 3. 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9, right? 3 plus 3, 6 plus 3 is a 9. That's another way to do it. That would be another way to do multiplication. I want you, here's what we'll do. I want you using Rally Coach, which you all know how to do. Coaches do a good job of praising and coaching, and solvers, you're going to solve these problems. You have two groups of problems. This will be for one shoulder partner, this will be for the other shoulder partner. Here's how you'll do it. I want you to start by writing on your whiteboard the problem, 2 times 4, say. Then I want you to say, 2 times 4 means 2 groups of 4. Then, using your little objects you have, I want you to actually make 2 groups of 4. Coaches, you're going to be watching and coaching them as they do this. And then use one of the strategies we just talked about to figure out how many you have altogether when you have 2 groups of 4. Coaches, coach and praise along the way, and if with your coaching and your help, they can do all those steps right, I want you to put a little star on your whiteboard and see how many stars out of their 5 tries they get. I'm going to come around and watch and listen and see how we do. Okay, so this is what I saw. I saw us doing a nice job of doing Rally Coach. Coaches were doing a good job of praising. Coaches were not doing a nice job of coaching each other through it. And I heard us, we were able to describe multiplication problems as groups of, and we were able to make models of those groups with our objects. Nicely done. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about multiplication for this next little while. And every time we work on multiplication, we are going to spend some time talking about what multiplication means. Nice work.